If getting up from a chair feels harder than it used to, if your knees feel stiff in the morning, or if your skin and joints just don't feel as resilient, you're not imagining it and it's not happening for no reason. What's changing is something very specific. Inside your body, there's a network of connective tissue, often called collagen, that cushions joints, supports skin, and helps everything move smoothly. Over time, your body makes less of it, not suddenly, but gradually. And when that support weakens, the first signs usually show up as stiffness, slower recovery, and discomfort that lingers longer than it used to. Here's where many people get stuck. They're told to eat healthy, stay active, or add supplements, but those suggestions are broad. They don't address the real issue. The body needs the right raw materials to maintain connective support, and it doesn't get them automatically anymore. This is where certain vegetables stand out. Not all vegetables support the body in the same way. Some mainly provide energy, others help digestion. But a smaller group supplies nutrients the body uses to maintain collagen, manage inflammation, and support flexibility, especially as natural production slows. When those nutrients are missing, the body adapts in ways you can feel: more stiffness, less confidence in movement, and slower bounce back after everyday activity. Today, we're focusing on 8 everyday vegetables chosen for one clear reason. They help support connective tissue and movement when consistency matters more than intensity. No extreme claims, no rare foods. Just vegetables that quietly help the body keep doing its job. Let's go through them. But before that, make sure to like and subscribe this channel. We made this channel so you can improve your health and have a healthy comeback. Let's start with food number 8, spinach, because it directly connects to how your body feels day to day, especially stiffness, tension, and how easily you move in the morning. Spinach matters because it helps your body hold on to the connective support it already has. When that support weakens, joints feel less cushioned, muscles stay tight longer, and recovery slows. Spinach works quietly in the background to slow that process. One of the biggest reasons is its role in reducing everyday wear on connective tissue. When that wear builds up, collagen breaks down faster than the body can maintain it. Spinach helps lower that background strain, which means the collagen you have lasts longer and movement feels smoother over time. Another key reason spinach earns its place is magnesium, and this matters more than most people realize. Magnesium helps muscles relax and nerves signal properly. When levels are low, muscles stay tense and joints feel stiff, especially after sitting or sleeping. Spinach provides magnesium in a gentle, food-based way that supports easier movement without stressing digestion. Spinach also supplies vitamin C, which your body uses as a helper nutrient when maintaining connective tissue. Without enough of it, that process becomes less efficient even if the rest of your diet looks fine. What makes spinach especially useful is consistency. You don't need large servings. A regular handful a few times a week is enough to support these systems. Added to eggs, soups, lentils, or lightly cooked with meals, it becomes maintenance your body can actually keep up with. Think of spinach as protection, not a fix. It helps prevent things from declining faster than they need to. Next, we'll look at a vegetable that supports collagen by shielding it from breakdown, especially when stiffness and soreness linger longer than they should. Food number 7, red bell peppers, because this is the one many people overlook, and it often explains why stiffness and soreness hang around longer than they should. If your joints feel slow to recover, or small aches seem to linger for days instead of hours, this is where red bell peppers matter. Your body relies on vitamin C every time it maintains connective tissue, not occasionally, constantly. When vitamin C runs low, collagen support becomes weaker, and everyday wear adds up faster than the body can keep up with. That's when joints feel less protected and movement feels less forgiving. What makes red bell peppers different is how concentrated and gentle they are. They provide vitamin C in a food-based form that's easy to absorb and easy to use. No spikes, no heavy digestion, just steady support that the body can work with. This matters because vitamin C from whole foods behaves differently than pills or sugary juices. It arrives slowly, alongside other plant compounds that help protect connective tissue from breaking down under daily stress. People who use red bell peppers regularly often notice something subtle but important. Aches fade sooner. Morning stiffness doesn't last as long. And recovery from normal activity feels smoother. That's not because peppers fix joints, but because they help protect collagen before it wears down. You don't need large amounts. A few slices added to meals several times a week is enough to keep that protective signal steady. Spinach helps preserve what you have. Red bell peppers help stop it from wearing out too quickly, and if that protection is missing, no amount of strength or stretching works as well. Next, we'll look at a vegetable that supports connective tissue from another critical angle, by improving how nutrients actually reach joints and muscles in the first place. Food number 6. Broccoli, because this one supports connective tissue in a way many people don't connect to stiffness or joint comfort, but feel when it's missing. If your joints feel puffy, sore, or irritated after normal activity, that's often not a strength issue. It's a calming issue. Broccoli helps by supporting the body's ability to settle low-grade inflammation that quietly wears on connective tissue day after day. When that background irritation stays high, collagen breaks down faster, joints feel tender, and recovery takes longer than it should. What makes broccoli useful is that it doesn't just add nutrients. It helps the body manage stress at the tissue level. It contains plant compounds that support the body's natural cleanup systems. When those systems work well, irritation doesn't linger, and tissues get a better chance to maintain themselves. People who add broccoli regularly often notice changes that feel practical, not dramatic. Less soreness after walking or chores, less swelling around joints, and a general sense that movement feels calmer instead of reactive. Another reason broccoli earns its place is vitamin K. This nutrient supports how calcium is handled in the body, helping it go where it belongs instead of collecting in places that contribute to stiffness. Over time, that matters for joint comfort and flexibility. Broccoli works best when it's lightly cooked. Steaming or quick sautéing keeps it easy to digest while preserving what makes it helpful. You don't need large portions. A few servings a week is enough to support this calming effect. Think of broccoli as a stabilizer. It doesn't rebuild tissue overnight, but it helps prevent constant irritation from undoing the support your body still has. Spinach protects. Red bell peppers shield. Broccoli helps calm. And when tissues are calmer, everything else, strength, flexibility, recovery, has a chance to work better. Next, we'll look at a vegetable that supports connective tissue by improving how nutrients and oxygen reach it, which becomes increasingly important when circulation slows with age. Food number 5. Let's talk about tomatoes, because this is where circulation enters the picture, and without good circulation, even the best nutrients don't reach the places that need them. If your joints feel stiff even though you're eating well, or if recovery feels slow no matter what you do, poor delivery is often part of the problem. Nutrients may be present in the diet, but they're not reaching connective tissue efficiently. Tomatoes help address that. They contain lycopene, a plant compound that supports healthy blood flow and helps protect blood vessels from everyday stress. When circulation improves, oxygen and nutrients reach joints, muscles, and connective tissue more reliably. That alone can change how movement feels. This matters more with age, because circulation naturally becomes less efficient. When blood flow slows, tissues don't get what they need on time, and stiffness, tightness, and fatigue linger longer. People who include tomatoes regularly often notice changes that feel practical. Warmth returns to joints faster, movement feels less restricted, and recovery after normal activity doesn't drag on as long. Tomatoes also support connective tissue indirectly by helping manage oxidative stress, the kind that slowly weakens collagen when it's left unchecked. This protection doesn't feel dramatic, but over time it helps prevent support structures from wearing down faster than they should. One important detail, tomatoes work best cooked. Cooking makes lycopene easier for the body to absorb. That's why tomato sauces, stewed tomatoes, or lightly cooked tomatoes tend to be more effective than raw ones. You don't need large portions. Regular, modest use is enough to keep circulation support steady. If spinach helps preserve, red bell peppers help protect, and broccoli helps calm, tomatoes help deliver. And delivery matters more than people realize. Food number 4. There's a vegetable that works quietly in the background, so quietly that most people never connect it to how stable or flexible their joints feel. That vegetable is sweet potato. Sweet potatoes support connective tissue by helping the body maintain strength and resilience, not just comfort. When connective tissue lacks resilience, it stretches too easily, recovers slowly, and feels less dependable during everyday movement. What makes sweet potatoes special is how they support the body's foundational nutrition. They're rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. This matters because vitamin A plays a role in tissue maintenance and repair, especially in skin and connective structures that are under constant use. Another important factor is steady energy. When energy availability is inconsistent, the body prioritizes survival over maintenance. That's when connective tissue support quietly takes a back seat. Sweet potatoes provide slow, stable energy that helps prevent those gaps, especially overnight and between meals. People who include sweet potatoes regularly often notice that joints feel more stable and movement feels less fragile. Not because pain disappears, but because tissues feel better supported and less prone to strain. Sweet potatoes also tend to be easy on digestion, which matters as the body becomes more sensitive. Steamed, baked, or lightly roasted, they provide nourishment without overstimulation. This isn't a quick fix, it's reinforcement. Food number 3. There's one vegetable which works where stiffness often starts, not where you feel it. It doesn't act on joints directly, it acts on tension. That vegetable is garlic. Garlic supports connective tissue by helping muscles and joints let go instead of staying tight and guarded. When the body holds tension too long, it restricts movement, limits circulation, and keeps tissues from fully relaxing even at rest. This matters because tight muscles don't just feel uncomfortable. They change how joints move. They pull on connective tissue and reduce the smooth glide that keeps movement easy. Garlic helps by supporting healthy blood flow and circulation at a very small vessel level. When circulation improves, muscles receive more oxygen and release waste more efficiently. That helps them relax instead of staying half contracted. People who include garlic regularly often notice changes that feel subtle but meaningful. Less tightness after activity, less lingering tension in the neck, back, or legs, and a feeling that the body unwinds more easily instead of staying on. Garlic also supports the body's natural balance between stimulation and relaxation. When that balance is off, muscles stay reactive and joints feel guarded. Garlic helps calm that response so movement doesn't feel forced. It works best as a regular part of meals, not as a large dose. Cooked garlic is easier to digest and still effective. A little, used often, goes further than a lot used occasionally. Garlic doesn't loosen joints by force. It helps the body release what it's been holding. Food number 2, carrots. As the body ages, connective tissue doesn't just weaken, it also refreshes itself more slowly. Old cells linger longer, and new support layers form less efficiently. When that renewal slows down, joints feel less cushioned, skin feels thinner, and small strains take longer to settle. Carrots help address that specific issue. They're rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A plays a role in how tissues renew and maintain their structure, especially tissues that experience constant wear, like joint surfaces and connective layers. When vitamin A support is low, connective tissue becomes more fragile. It still functions, but it loses resilience. That's when movement feels less forgiving and recovery feels slower than it should. People who include carrots regularly often notice that their joints feel more durable, not rigid, not forced, just better able to handle everyday movement without irritation building up as quickly. Carrots also support the integrity of connective tissue. Healthier tissue absorbs movement and pressure more evenly, which reduces the feeling that joints are taking the hit every time you move. Cooked carrots work especially well here. Light cooking makes their nutrients easier for the body to absorb and keeps digestion comfortable. You don't need large servings. A few times a week is enough to support this renewal process. Carrots don't calm tension or increase flexibility directly. They help connective tissue refresh and stay resilient, which makes everything else work better. Food number 1. The last vegetable that doesn't try to fix joints directly, and that's exactly why it works so well. That vegetable is onions. Onions support connective tissue by improving how the entire system functions, not by targeting one joint or one symptom. When the body struggles to use nutrients efficiently, even a good diet falls short. Food is present, but support doesn't fully reach muscles, joints, and connective layers. This creates a hidden problem. You may be eating the right foods, but delivery is inconsistent. Nutrients arrive late, unevenly, or not in the amounts tissues need to maintain strength and comfort. Over time, This shows up as lingering soreness, stiffness that doesn't fully resolve, and joints that feel reactive instead of steady. Onions help remove that bottleneck. They contain natural plant compounds that support circulation at a very small vessel level. That matters because connective tissue relies on constant delivery of oxygen and nutrients to stay healthy. When circulation improves, tissues are better nourished and waste products clear more efficiently. That change is subtle but important. People who include onions regularly often notice that stiffness doesn't linger as long. Muscles relax more easily after activity, and joints feel less on edge, especially after repetitive movement or long periods of sitting. Another key role onions play is supporting how the body handles low-grade inflammation. Inflammation isn't always a problem, it's part of normal repair, but when it doesn't resolve properly, it quietly wears down connective tissue. Joints stay tender longer than they should. Muscles remain guarded. Recovery feels incomplete. Onions help the body resolve that irritation instead of letting it drag on. Not by shutting the system down, but by helping it finish the job. This is why onions often don't produce dramatic overnight changes. Their effect builds gradually. The body becomes less reactive. Movement feels smoother, and everyday activity stops triggering the same level of discomfort. Onions also support nutrient absorption in the digestive process. When absorption improves, other supportive foods like the vegetables we've already discussed work more effectively. In that sense, onions don't replace anything on this list. They enhance everything else. That makes them especially valuable as a daily food. Cooked onions are the best place to start. Cooking makes them easier to digest and still preserves their supportive compounds. Used regularly in meals, they work quietly in the background without requiring effort or planning. You don't need large amounts. You don't need special preparation. You just need consistency. Onions don't strengthen connective tissue directly. They don't relax it by force. They help the body use what it already has more efficiently. And when the system works better as a whole, joints, muscles, and connective tissue finally get the support they've been missing. That's why onions earn their place. Not as a headline vegetable, but as the one that makes everything else work better. By now you've seen that how your body moves tomorrow is shaped by what you support today. When connective tissue is undersupported, the signs show up in small, frustrating moments. Getting out of bed takes longer. Stairs feel heavier than they should. Joints feel stiff after sitting, even if nothing strenuous happened. But when the body gets the right support consistently, those moments begin to change. Morning stiffness eases sooner. Movement feels steadier instead of cautious. And everyday tasks stop requiring so much mental preparation. That's the real goal here. Not perfection and not turning back time, but protecting your ability to move with confidence and ease for as long as possible. Each vegetable we covered plays a different role in that process. Together, they support strength, flexibility, circulation, and recovery in ways the body still knows how to respond to. You don't need to overhaul your diet. You don't need all 8 at once. Start with 1 or 2 that fit naturally into your meals and build from there. Consistency matters more than intensity, and confidence grows when the body starts responding instead of resisting. If one of these foods stood out to you, comment below and let me know which one you're starting with. Small choices repeated over time are what keep independence intact. We're building a community here for strong comebacks, so subscribe, hit the bell icon. You don't want to miss what's coming next. If this was helpful and you want to support the effort behind it, give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Join me in the next video. I've got more surprises waiting for you.